Whitaker? What the fuck? Come out and let's do the man dance. Bro, are you kidding me? Let's go, motherfucker.
And in that area. And people always wonder, like, man, why is he so good at grappling? Well, he's been grappling his whole life.
Face interviews, would you guys ever go back to doing that or no? Or do you know like why you stopped? Like where you guys have like it's like one table. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, where they're sitting across from each other.
Yeah.
There's like an interviewer and like a light.
Yes.
Yeah.
You go back to that?
We do it. Yeah. Well, I don't think that wasn't some. That was a big thing that Max Kellerman used to do on HBO for boxing. That was more of a boxing thing than it was
Face to face.
Face to face.
Yeah, I know it's more. I mean, I know it's boxing, but like I don't know.
That was more of a boxing. That was like a Max Kellerman.
Like Strickland and Khamzat would be funny if they were face to
I don't
face.
even know
Who?
if they would get
Strickland and
past
Khamzat.
Let me tell you the amount of security we're going to need.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
In New Jersey for those two, the amount of security and police and
That's
It's going to be tough.
So Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland is officially happening, but this fight is a lot more complicated than the odds are actually telling you. So because on paper, guys, honestly, this looks completely one-sided, especially the way I'm looking at it. But in reality, this might actually be the fight that exposes everything. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Khamzat Chimaev, Sean Strickland. A lot of people have been talking about this fight. And now it's coming to fruition. So welcome back, guys. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. We're in beautiful Vancouver, guys. This one, honestly, this is the big one. This is the big one because the UFC just announced a huge blockbuster middleweight title fight. Khamzat Chimaev is going to be defending his belt for the first time against former champion Sean Strickland at UFC 328, which is happening in Newark, New Jersey on May 9th. And you guys remember how quickly Khamzat was able to dismantle DDP? Well, this one is going to be a little bit different, right? This is not just a title fight, guys. Honestly, at the end of the day, this is going to be a clash of two different styles, mentalities, mindsets. And honestly, there's so many questions that still haven't been answered yet, but a lot of those questions are going to be answered in the octagon. It's going to be absolutely thrilling, absolutely exciting. And the real question that I don't think anyone's really asking is, what's going to happen? What's going to happen if Khamzat can't dominate? If he can't dominate Sean Strickland like he did to DDP, then there's going to be a lot of questions that are going to be circling about Khamzat and whether or not he still has game. This is going to be very, very interesting, guys. So let me kind of go into a little bit of context here. Let me set the stage. Khamzat Chimaev, he comes in completely undefeated, guys. He's 15-0 in MMA, 9-0 in the UFC, and he just won the middleweight title, as I alluded to earlier, by dominating DDP over 5 rounds. And before that, he beat former champions like Kamaru Usman, Robert Whitaker, And so on paper, this guy has run through all the elite competition that he's been faced with. Right? He's 3-0 since moving up to middleweight, and now this is his first title defense. And on the other side, you got Sean Strickland. You got Sean Strickland, who completely comes in unfiltered, 30 wins, 7 losses. He's a former champion. He knows a thing or two about MMA, and he's probably one of the most unique, most prolific, most outspoken, controversial fighter in combat sports. Okay, he's coming off a TKO against Anthony Hernandez, a very, very strong comeback fight after losing to Duplessis in their rematch, and just one win was enough to put him right back into a title fight, guys, which already tells you something about this division. And I think Sean kind of sold his opportunity, with all the hate that he has against Khamzat and the back and forth that's been happening. So I mean, yeah, he kind of put himself in this situation, and so the odds are kind of against him right now. Chimaev is sitting as a minus 425 favorite. Strickland is at a plus 290 underdog. Sorry guys, my allergies are out of control, guys. And it's not even close, guys. I mean, that's the UFC, the public, the betting market. They're all saying the same thing right now, right? That the odds are in favor for Khamzat to win. Should he win this fight, things are going to get really interesting for him. But if he doesn't, things are going to get really, really tricky, because Sean Strickland, he doesn't fight in a way that makes things easy for anyone, all right? As you know, he's very, very controversial, but there's a lot of UFC fighters that have actually chimed in. There are some predictions. So, some of the top UFC guys, past, present, they kind of weighed in on what they feel, what they think is going to happen. Chael Sonnen, he expects Strickland to be a very, very tough test for UFC middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev. Essentially, Chael is saying that he's essentially saying that he doesn't expect Khamzat Chimaev to dominate Sean Strickland, but he does feel that Khamzat is going to beat Sean Strickland. He sees Strickland as a fighter who is technically built for tough, drawn out fights, under very extreme pressure. But Strickland is very durable. He's very flexible, and he'll come in as the underdog. But low expectations, honestly, at the end of the day. Sonnen is very high on Strickland and his technical capabilities in the octagon. But he's essentially saying that he's fighting one of the best fighters in the world right now. And odds are on favorite for Khamzat to win. So Chael is not actually predicting anyone to win this fight. I mean, obviously there'll be a winner in this fight, but he's not coming out right and saying that Khamzat's going to win or Sean Strickland's going to win. But he is saying that Sean Strickland is going to have one of his toughest tests yet. And also, that goes for Khamzat as well too, right? He's not... It's really weird because Chael, the way he was talking, almost... he kind of gave the upper hand to Khamzat Chimaev. And then you got Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman, he made a prediction as well too, right? Kamaru changed, essentially, Kamaru is saying that Sean Strickland most likely is going to win this one, right? Kamaru, has a 21-4 MMA record. He's got a 16-3 record in the UFC, and it's a rare position to be in because he's fought both Strickland and he's fought Khamzat Chimaev. He dominated Strickland. He dominated Strickland by decision, back in welterweight, and more recently he pushed Chimaev to the limit on short notice in the middleweight division, right? So when Kamaru speaks up, it carries a lot of weight because he's fought both of these guys and he knows these guys really, really well. But according to Usman, Strickland's style is what makes this fight very, very tricky for Khamzat. He says that Strickland is extremely hard to hit. He fights very relaxed. He keeps a tight guard. He leans back just enough. it makes it very, very difficult for opponents to land clean shots. I mean, it's not flashy, it's not effective, but Sean Strickland gets the job done most of the time when he's fighting somebody. But on the flip side, Kamaru does talk about Chimaev's biggest strength and his weaknesses. And he's saying that Khamzat often relies heavily on his wrestling to dominate, kind of like what he did to DDP. But if he can't get the takedown, things might start to fall apart for Khamzat really quick, because he's not really tried, tested, and proven when he's standing and exchanging with others. And I think that's what DDP was talking about too. Usman actually believes that Chimaev's striking is underrated though. I mean, he's dropped guys like Gilbert Burns and even shown that he can hang and exchange with the bigger fighters. But sometimes Khamzat just kind of relies on one style, and it's usually wrestling. So the key, Kamaru's talking about the key to this, the key to winning this fight is it's all mental. If Chimaev can open up and fight freely and exchange and not just rely on his takedowns, then Usman believes that he might actually have a good chance of winning this fight. But if Khamzat just kind of sticks to one particular style, kind of like, then yeah, Strickland is going to dominate Khamzat Chimaev, right? So that's why Usman is saying that this fight is very, very intriguing from so many different perspectives, because it's going to actually force, or Strickland's going to force Chimaev to fight in a different style. And then you got George Masvidal. And he's quite controversial as well too, and he's got a lot to say, and he's not 100% sold on Khamzat Chimaev. He doesn't think Khamzat Chimaev is a true elite in the middleweight division, and George is not hiding, and he's not hiding the fact that he honestly thinks that when Usman moved up a weight class to fight Chimaev and take that fight he took that fight on in less than 2 weeks, he truly believes that Usman actually won that fight against Chimaev. And Chimaev got very, very, very lucky. I mean, that performance alone between Chimaev and Usman has a lot of people questioning Khamzat's ability, especially Masvidal. And he's confident that Sean Strickland would beat Chimaev if it comes down to two key areas: wrestling, okay, defense, and cardio. And so he essentially is saying that Sean Strickland is he's underrated. And he rarely uses, he likes to exchange, but he's fought a lot of top American. He's trained with the top American team, national champions. Sean Strickland is a grinder. He works really, really super hard. And according to Masvidal, Sean Strickland can wrestle when he needs to, and more importantly, he can defend. But his cardio is next level. And that could be a real problem for Khamzat Chimaev, because Sean Strickland does have the ability to change up his style. And if one style's not working, he can definitely change. And he's got enough in his gas tank to go all the way. And that could be a big, big challenge for Khamzat Chimaev. That could be one of Khamzat's weaknesses, is his cardio compared to Sean Strickland. But if he keeps defending those takedowns against Khamzat, it's going to put Khamzat in a position where he's going to feel very overwhelmed, and things could really go downhill fast for Khamzat Chimaev. Now, this is what George Masvidal is talking about, because in his eyes, the path to victory here for Sean Strickland is to keep changing up his style and keep Khamzat kind of guessing, so that Khamzat doesn't, and really taking down his defenses, taking down Khamzat Chimaev early would definitely help. So, we've seen it all, guys. Honestly, almost every fight, Sean Strickland is winning. Almost every fight, Khamzat's winning, right? And like Khamzat, he's super explosive. This is a guy, when he comes out of the gate super fast, he's got a lot of pressure, forward pressure, and he likes to overwhelm people quickly with his wrestling. His wrestling dominance is 100% next level. But historically, when that dominance slows down, questions will start to show up. And we saw flashes of that against Gilbert Burns. Sorry, the sun is like really, really bright here, and it's like really hard to... Anyways, so when Khamzat started to, when he fought Usman, Usman really pushed him to the brink, to the point where some people actually questioned whether or not Khamzat actually won that fight. And so if you could break Khamzat down mentally, the key to that, honestly, is to be able to take to put that defense in high gear when Khamzat tries to go for those takedowns. And if he can't take you down, then that might actually change the momentum. So I want to know what you guys have to say and what you guys think. Because if Strickland honestly survives the early rounds against Khamzat Chimaev, we know that Strickland has enough in his gas tank to start firing off some crazy exchanges in rounds number 4, rounds number 5. Because, I mean, we've never really seen that version for him, or that kind of pressure before. So if there's anyone that can actually take Khamzat to that level or to that point, it could be Sean Strickland, right? And there's a lot of stakes here for the division, guys, because, I mean, you got, you know, DDP, you know, who's still the #1 contender, even after losing his belt. You've got Nasiruddin Imamov, who's on he's on a 5-fight win streak, but I mean, he already lost to Strickland, so I mean, he's kind of stuck waiting. But Imamov versus Chimaev could be a crazy fight, and I mean, that could also decide the whole direction of the entire middleweight division as we know it. But I mean, there's a lot of good fighters who could put up a good threat against Khamzat Chimaev. And from a business standpoint, the UFC is clearly betting on Khamzat. Okay, the guy's undefeated. He's a machine. He's on a tear. He's dominant. And he may not be as flashy as well, too. Neither is Strickland, guys. But one thing about Khamzat is he's a global draw. And for Strickland, Strickland's unpredictable. He's loud. He's got no filter. He's a polarizing character. He's the kind of guy that can really, really get into your head, and that kind of damage could lead to really serious implications in the octagon. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these guys fight at UFC 328. And I mean, for me, what this fight really truly represents is this fight is not all about skill versus skill. Okay, this is about a controlled fighter versus a chaotic fighter, right? And it's about UFC really pushing those boundaries and trying to push forward a dominant, marketable champion. Somebody who doesn't necessarily follow the script. And I mean, if Khamzat wins, honestly, especially in a very dominant fashion, like he did to DDP, then you're looking at the start of a new era at the middleweight division. But if Strickland wins, he flips the script 100%. And then everything completely resets again. And then the UFC is going to have to try to figure out what they want to do, right? And that in itself, the division becomes unpredictable, which historically is when the UFC has to adjust quickly and very fast. And so this, honestly, this is anybody's fight. I mean, at the end of the day, the fight is being sold as a complete mismatch. I mean, mentally, I mean, forget about mental. I mean, historically speaking, I think it might even be a lot closer than people think. But I have Khamzat Chimaev winning this fight. I think he's going to, I don't know if he's going to do it in a dominant fashion. I don't know if he's going to do it early enough. But I think he's definitely going to beat Sean Strickland. And I mean, there's a lot that we can learn about this fight, especially when it comes to both of these guys with their tremendous careers. Between the two of these guys, I mean, these guys are a legendary status. I mean, I don't know. That's my take, guys. Honestly, Sean Strickland's an unbelievable fighter, but I don't think he's got this one. You tell me who's winning this fight. Please put your thoughts and comments below. Smash a like and subscribe. Hit the notification so you guys never miss a beat. I apologize. My face feels like a medicine ball right now with all the allergies and everything that I'm kind of going through. But it's a beautiful day here in sunny Vancouver. Dana White's also announced a handful of other fights on the UFC 328 card. You got Volkov versus Acosta, which is a co-main event. Then you got Brady versus Buckley, Blachowicz versus Guskov. That's going to be number 2, by the way. Then you got King Green versus Jeremy Stevens. Gauthier versus Ozzy Diaz. It's going to be absolutely insane, guys. And all of this is going down May 9th, Saturday, at the Prudential Center, Newark, New Jersey, May 9th. And it's going to be all streamed on Paramount Plus. So I look forward to catching you guys, hearing your thoughts and comments. And as usual, the pleasure was all mine. I look forward to catching you guys tomorrow.